tell me why this video was sitting in my Final Cut drafts for weeks. I've had this thing recorded, edited, and just sitting there. The only thing I didn't do was the voiceover, and then I completely forgot about it. But I figured I'll still post it because this is probably a really good video for my girls who are going through heat damage or transitioning their hair and are looking for a style that will possibly work. For those of you that are new, hey, I'm Abby. I love natural hair and I love messing around with my hair. I do a whole bunch of different things with my hair. So if you're looking for content that will help you with your hair journey, join me. All right, so let's get into it. I wanted to make sure that these braids were going to be a pretty decent size. I didn't want to spend all night on my hair, so I made them pretty big, but I'm going in with two products. The first is this Design Essentials Almond and Avocado Curling Enhancing Mousse, and then I'm going in with the Curlsmith Bouncy Strength Volume Foam. I used two products because these are the products that I had, and both products claim to have a light hold, so I wanted to make sure that like I get something really good and my hair would actually last. But you can use any foam or any mousse that you have at home that you feel would work best for your hair. These are just the two that I had. I also decided to use a mousse instead of any other product because I wanted my drying process to be fairly fast, and mousse guarantees that every single time. So my hair is freshly blow dried, clean and blow dried. If you notice, I applied the product in that entire section, but I didn't really focus on my roots because I didn't want my roots to flatten too much. Once I apply the product, I make sure I detangle that section, and then I start braiding my hair down about 2/3 of the entire section. Once I have that last section, which as you can see is very damaged, I grab a flexi rod and I wrap the last piece of that hair around it, and then I secure it. All right, so here I'm giving you guys a quick little slow-mo. I just start braiding the hair down, and I'm braiding kind of tight because I really want the form of the braid to stay once my hair is dry and I remove the flexi rod and everything. So braid a little tight, and then when you're about 2/3 down that section, you can apply a little bit more product, and you want to detangle your hair. And then once you detangle it, you want to take a flexi rod and you're going to wrap that last section around to form the curl. So I like to do a little hook at the top, and then I go over and under. And what I do to allow my hair to have a little bit of length once the flexi rod comes off is I basically curl the hair the way I want it to dry. So I don't bunch it on top of each other like the little sections. I curl it, and then I allow some space between the flexi rod as I'm forming it down, so that when it dries, I can just take it off and it still has that form and that length that I'm looking for. I hope that made sense. In total, I had 12 braids and flexi rods in my hair. I let this dry overnight. I didn't sit under a dryer or anything. And then the next day, my hair was perfect. It was dry and ready to go. The only thing that I did do was I tightened up the two flexi rods in the front because that's where most of my heat damage is. So I had to do a little bit more work. Then I followed up with my Bomba Curls Forbidden Oil, which is my favorite oil. That thing got me in a chokehold, y'all. I use it for everything. I take the oil and I warm it up within my hands, and then I kind of just apply it all over. I like to remove all of my flexi rods at once, and then I clip my hair up so that I can be able to work section by section. Now you want to be very gentle and very careful in this process of removing your braids, because this is what's gonna make you have the best definition in your hair. You don't want to make it too frizzy, so just be very gentle as you're separating each of these sections. And then after that, you're gonna go in section by section and kind of separate each of these braids so that you have a little bit more volume. Alright, so once all of my sections are out, I clip my hair back up, and basically I like to work in sections. This is my method for getting the best definition with any of my hairstyles, whether it's a braid out, a twist out, a braid and curl. I take the section and I kind of tug on it to pull it so that I can be able to separate it where it naturally separates. So me pulling it this way allows me to, you see the hair kind of like separates. It has its little sections, and I just separate it there. I have a more in-depth video of how I go about doing this if you guys are interested in checking it out. But I just separated each of those sections, and then I went in at the root and I kind of fluffed it out because I like a lot of volume. And then I was done. Look at that. A beautiful braid and curl. Definitely a go-to hairstyle, especially if you're struggling with heat damage or transitioning your hair. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.